All right, all right. Interesting show. Interesting show. Okay. Hello, Success Inez, and welcome to the national TV and conference call show, The Road to Success. I'm your host, Professor William Murray, and as always, the God in me greets and blesses the God in you. This show is successful because of you. I'm here trying to give you information and knowledge to build and grow your mindset, your lifestyle, and your business. And as you know, your life is a business, whether it is a physical as an entrepreneur or just living life to the fullest. You know, our motto is if you learn something, teach us. If you know something, tell us. The show, this evening show, is going to be very, very interesting. I've been kind of looking forward to it. I'm in the organization, and I was at one of our Friday events, and because I posted on Facebook pictures of my garden for the year, how I had turned the dirt and how I prepared it and everything. People come and ask me, "Well, how do you start a garden? What do you do? How do you do that? What does it take?" So that gave me an idea for this particular show: building a backyard garden. Now, you can see my garden from last year, but I've just posted this year so far what my garden looks like right now. And it's just basically turned over soil. I've leveled it off. I've raked it up. And Wednesday, I planted for the first time for the spring uh, some vegetables. I planted some kale greens, some collard greens, some heads of lettuce, and some romaine lettuce, and some cabbage. Because this early in the season, that's all I could plant. Anything else wouldn't be able to survive the future frost within the next couple of 3 weeks. Somewhere around the 1st of May, I may be able to plant my other crops, which are going to be, let me see, I'm going to start in my garden. I'm going to start with bunch beans, string beans, the row of bunch beans. And then I'm going to plant cucumbers. Then I'm going to have cantaloupe. I'm gonna plant two types of tomatoes: your regular sized tomatoes and your salad sized tomatoes. So I'm gonna have 2 or 3 plants of that. I'm gonna have bell peppers. I'm planting onions. And what else is going in my garden? Oh, it'll come to me, y'all. So as I go through the show, it'll come to me, and I'll be able to tell you what all I'm planting in my garden. My garden is a raised garden. You know, I built the box myself, and it's about 12, 15 inches high. Yeah, about 12, 15 inches high. It's 7 by 24, 7 feet by 24 feet, because I have a fence here. If you're facing on my left is a fence, and behind it is a fence. So I didn't have to build a whole lot of wall, Although I built a complete box. It's a complete box that is 7 feet by 24 feet, which is a nice sized garden. Now, I used a 20-foot. No, I used 10. I used 2 10-feet boards, and you got to get boards that will not rot, that's been treated. You want boards that don't rot. So mine is about, was it 2 inches thick, inch and a half thick, by 6 or 8 inches tall, and 10 feet long. Because I don't want it to rot, because dirt, it'll rot. And you don't want your garden to rot. That's why I say you get your treated lumber, treated. I got it at Lowe's, the lumber part of Lowe's. So you see, I had to get 1, 2, 2, 4, about 6 of those. Because to have it 24 feet, I had to put 2 10s together, and then 4 feet off of the other one. And then I had 7 feet on each side, because it's a square. Now, one of the things you have to do, I'm going to just tell you how I first built my thing. Then I'm going to tell you about how you got to do to make it work. I learned my lesson the first year. The rabbit and the groundhog ate me up. Every time I planted something, they go out there and they'd eat it. I says, wait a minute. So I went and got a fence that had about 3 inches by 1.5 inch squares in this fence. And the rabbits kept them get through it. I said, look at this. How do they fit through this little? So then I got smart. See, I'm a country boy. So this, I grew up raising vegetables. Because like I said, we weren't poor when I was young. We just didn't have no money. There's a difference between being poor and not having no money. We just didn't have no money because we ate good, because we grew everything that we ate. And then what we overgrew, my mother canned and had mason jars full of canned vegetables, tomatoes, string beans, all of that type of thing. And we ate good because we ate all winter. Because our garden would produce that much, and my mother would can. I remember watching my mother put tomatoes in a boiling pot. And how she would, and I'm going to go back and learn how to can again, because I'm going to go can this summer. I'm going to can all my tomatoes and my string beans and all that type of stuff. And I got to learn how to can again. But when they say can, that means put in a mason jar. I should have brought my jar to show you the mason jar. Baby, give me that little mason jar that's on top of the refrigerator in the kitchen, please. So I can show them what I'm talking about, mason jar. Although the ones we have are a lot larger than we have quart-sized mason jars. But this is a pint size that I've got in the kitchen on top of the refrigerator. Because I use it for various things. And everything is seasonal, how you plant it. You can't plant everything all at one time. Like right now, I can plant my tomatoes and my greens and my string beans, my bunch beans, and my cantaloupe and stuff, because it's too early and the frost to kill it. Now this is a mason jar, but imagine a quart jar. This is a pint. Imagine a quart jar, and that's what we had full of in the pantries. We've had potatoes, because potatoes you can keep. You can keep potatoes during the winter month. You just gotta keep it in a dark, cool place, and they won't rot. You gotta know how to do that. My mother, my father, they knew how to do all of that. And I remember, as a little boy, I remember all of that. Like I say, we might not have much of a clothes closet. We had a pantry full of food. Now, after I built my box and I put my fence up that didn't work, I went and bought chicken wire. Chicken wire is just wire with all it. Nothing's going to get through it because the holes are too small for rabbits, groundhogs, squirrels, and stuff to get through it. Even a squirrel can't get through chicken wire. But see, I don't have to worry about squirrels because I don't have any trees right behind my house. And the only way a squirrel could get in, I, I don't see how a squirrel could get in because they had to walk the top of the fence and get in, and to get out would be a beast. Although they could, but so far I've been lucky. I've had no trouble out of no squirrels. And birds don't bother my garden. My backyard is full of birds every morning and every evening. That's where they feed up in my backyard. That's why I say I'm gonna give you the how to build a backyard garden. And if you want to see my garden, just go to facebook.com/W Murray. Facebook.com/W Murray. And you can see my box that I got and it's nice. Anytime you got something 7 feet by 20, 24 feet, that's a nice size garden. Now, it doesn't take a lot of work if you do it the way I want to tell you I did mine. Last year, I didn't have to step inside my garden until my vegetables were ready to be plucked or picked. I had no weeds, and I'm going to tell you about that. How no grass grew in my garden. Okay. What I did, I went and got some wire, some netting. Like you can go right to I'm gonna use Lowe's. That's where I do my shopping at for my garden. And I got this black. See, I should have brought that in and show you that too, but that's out of my shed. I'm sorry, y'all. And it's a black. Just tell me you want the stuff so grass can't grow, and you lay it down. It's like a plastic, but it's not plastic. Well, it is kind of plastic, but what it is, it's got holes and stuff in it that's tiny, and it smothers your grass. So now, if you want to build up, do it, have a box garden. Because see, I didn't want to use my backyard is clay dirt, and I knew I couldn't grow a garden in that because one thing, the soil isn't rich enough and it's too hard. So I knew I had to build one. Now, if you're going to use just your backyard and the garden, the dirt that's there, you got to till it up. We get a tiller and till up that ground, make it soft where your vegetables can grow. But see, within this box, I don't have to do that. Now, I was lucky enough, I was talking to my neighbor, telling my neighbor I got to go buy some dirt. He said, man, I'll give y'all the dirt you want. I said, seriously? He said, yeah, man, when you want it. I said, as soon as you can get it to me. He drives a dump truck. He came back with half a dump truck full of clay dirt. And see, I knew he was going to bring me clay dirt because he told me what it was. I looked it up. You know me, I'm a research junkie. So I looked up clay dirt. And did I learn something? Boy, did I learn something. Clay dirt is rich in vitamins and minerals. So I said, well, I'd be jumped up. I just thought clay dirt was nothing would grow because it can pack and get hard. And it holds water. So I had about half a ton of clay dirt. And it took this gentleman about half an hour. The truck couldn't fit in my backyard because the way my house was made. So we had to bring it through my sunroom, which is the front door and the back door. Had to bring it through my sunroom to put it in my box. But what I had done, I knew I needed to do that. So when I built it, I left one end open so he could wheelbarrow it up into my box. Now the clay dirt is about 8. It's half the height of my box of clay dirt. So that means I still got about 6 or 7 inches of dirt of space to put dirt. Because I had to get a good rich dirt. So I tell you what I did. I went to Lowe's. They had a sale on Miracle-Gro garden soil. They had buy 3 bags, get 3 bags free. Buy 3 bags, get 3 bags free. The first year, I just put 42 bags into my garden. It grew nice. But like I said, the rabbits and the groundhogs, they had a field day. They ate good. They ate better than I did because they ate everything. So the second year, which was last year, I put 42 more bags on top of the dirt that I already had the year before. So that means I got a total of 80, almost 90 bags of dirt. And it's black. And it's rich. It's got the fertilizer and everything in it because it's got Miracle-Gro. It's Miracle-Gro garden soil. And I'm telling you, my garden grew so fast. And my buddy planted his garden a month before I put anything in the ground. And 2.5, 3 weeks later, my garden was not bigger and taller than he is. It's like I could hear my garden growing because that dirt was so rich. It was so rich. Now, I told you how I built my box. Because after you put the dirt and stuff, and I closed it up, and that clay dirt was there. I didn't pat it down or nothing. I just, broke up as best I could and took the rocks out of it as best I could, and put that other topsoil, that top dirt on top. I closed it off, put the wire around it. Last year, like I said, I got them because I put. You got to think, y'all. You got to think. I'll put the chicken wire around it, so couldn't nothing get in it. Of course, I had to leave a spot where I could hook it up and unhook it to walk in for a gate. The first year I had the gate up this end. I said, no, I don't like that. So the next year I'll just open it up at the other end where I could pull and do it that way. My garden grew so much last year. I fed me, my neighbor, my sister-in-law, and a few other people. I was giving vegetables to. It was growing and so fast. I'm gonna tell you something. My kale and my collards, the way they grow. I went to New York for 8 days. I plucked it, took a big bag of greens with me. Fresh greens, a big bag of fresh greens. When I came back 8, 9 days later, it had replenished itself. And I had to pluck another huge bag full of kale and collards and mustard. That's how fast it grows, and it replenishes itself. So I did that several times during the summer. Because as soon as I pluck it, you don't pull up the thing. You just pluck the leaf, the stems off of it. And then in a couple, 3 days, you see them coming back. And it was just as tender. Now, you can't buy that. You can't buy something this good in the grocery store. You are not going to buy something that good in the grocery store. Y'all, I got so much information. I got so much information on gardening that I can't do everything I want to give you today. I might do a part 2. So next week, I'm probably going to do a part 2 to give you the rest of what I can't give you tonight. Because I've done some research. I wrote half a book on gardening just in my notes. Now, for you to figure out what you need to do, okay, now I've told you how to build your box. What to do if you can get it. Now, if you got regular dirt, turn it over. You want to feed your soil. You can put Miracle-Gro in it. There are a lot of things you can put in it, and I'll get into that a little later because that's going to explain stuff as we go along. I don't want to go too fast, but you can use Epsom salt, baking soda, and surprise, surprise, that's a home Epsom salt. Whoever taught that will enrich your soil. Baking soda enrich your soil and help your plants. We're going to get into all of that, y'all. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to break that down for you, how to do that. what you got to know before you do all of this is your research. You got to research what size garden you want. Now, you can do this. Now, here's the thing. You can do this in buckets. Because this summer, I'm going to have buckets of potatoes. I'm not going to plant it in the garden. Because I don't know how to do with all that clay dirt. It's so hard. It's probably packed down now. So I'm going to put them in 5-gallon buckets. And grow them that way. Because I saw a video on how this dude grew all these potatoes, and he grew them in 5-gallon buckets. I see I got Daniel and Arlene on. Build box, feed soil, do research first. You got it. There you go. There you go. See, Arlene's got it. And Daniel says he's here. I've got a couple of my biggest buddies that's here. I don't know which one they are because I just see phone numbers. Because they've been asking me about it. And I told you that's what made me decide to do this show. What type of garden, whether you want ground or raised? If raised garden, build a steady garden box that will last for you. You can't use no thin wood. It's not going to hold the weight and the pressure of that soil. Because, dirt expands. It expands. Because I can see a mistake that I made on putting my front together. I can see the mistake I made. I was out there the other day with my drill, my hammer, and nails straightening up where my box where the ground had expanded. And my box was bowed. So that was cool. I handled it. Trust me, y'all, I handled it. Like I say, I had a half a ton of clay dirt delivered. I put down the grass blocker before I put my dirt, because I don't want you don't want the grass to grow, because mine has to put it right on top of my backyard. And I didn't have time to dig up the ground, dig up the dirt or nothing, so I just put the grass blocker. Then I put the clay dirt. You don't have to use clay, but you want to. Then I used the Miracle-Gro garden soil. I built around the chicken wire. Now I had to get some poles, and I used the 8 by 8 foot long, half an inch thick, the wood poles. Next week when I do this part 2, I'm gonna bring have all that sitting right here. See, I didn't think to do that, and I got all that right outside, right out the other door, because I use that, and I screwed those onto the my box. Poles on. I cut 8 foot, so I have them 4 feet tall, and I screwed them onto my box, so I can have something to staple. Those staples. I got my staple gun. I stapled the chicken wire onto my box, and then I had the wire up 4 feet. So that means from the ground up is about 4 feet. But here's the thing: I can make the chicken wire as high as I want to, because I got the box, and so I can put the chicken wire an inch or 2 below the top of the box, and then I got the boards to staple my chicken wire on. So you see what I'm saying? You got, like I said, you got to do your research, because you got to realize the planting season. Everything cannot be planted this early, because the ground will be too cold and the frost will kill it. Tomatoes can't do it yet. Peppers can't do it yet. Bunch beans can't do it yet. Peppers can't do it yet. Cantaloupe can't do it yet. It's too early in the season. You got to know what you want to plant. See, when I went to the farm to get the little seedlings, I had a list of what I wanted, and I asked the guy, "What do you have I can plant right now? And he told me that's what I got. That's why I got cabbage, the collards, the kale, the lettuce. It can handle this weather. My soil is so rich, it's soft. I just dug a hole, pulled them out the little container, squares the roots loose, and stuck it down in the dirt, put dirt around it. And it rained today, boy. My plants are shouting, hallelujah, rain, water. Now, here's something else I got to tell you. When you plant your vegetables and they're young, you must water them every morning. Get yourself, what you wash your car with, and get the shower spray and just spray and rinse and water your plants. Must water your plants. They're young. You got to water them. You ain't got to drown them, but you got to water them. If it's going to rain, don't water them because the rain will take care of that for you. Like now, see, I didn't really, because I knew it was supposed to rain yesterday, and it rained. It rained last night. It rained some today, and it's going to rain again tomorrow. So I know my plants are getting well watered, so I didn't water them. Because I don't want to because you can cause root rot if you put too much water on them, especially when they're young. Do your list. What do you want to plant? Because you can plant Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, all of that. I didn't have any problem. I didn't do good with my broccoli. My broccoli grew, but see, one thing I learned about broccoli, if it flowers, it's no good. And mine flowered, and I got to figure out why my broccoli flowered like a flower on it, because then it won't really give you what you want. And I got to figure out what I did wrong. So this year I'm not gonna plant broccoli or cauliflower, but there's so much other stuff I can plant. And my garden is gonna be a garden of garden. Last year I freaked people out when they saw my garden and my cabbage. My cabbage leaves, each leaf on my cabbage was almost the size of my hand. And that's before it headed, because you get heads of cabbage, but you got leaves that grow. And here's the thing about the cabbage. When it grows and it gets them leaves, you can pluck those leaves off of it. And it's just like eating a head of cabbage. It's so tender. Oh, you talking about it tastes good and it's tender. It ain't that stuff you get in the store. Now, you're getting ready to find out that stuff you buy in the store is garbage compared to you having your own. The flavor and everything is just different. And it's so fresh and delicious. You can just go out there and say, okay, I want cabbage today. Go out there and pluck as many leaves you need. Go inside and wash it real good. Wash it real good 3 or 4 times. Soak it and wash it 3 or 4 times. And then cut it down the size you want it. Put it in a pan, baby. Boy, make you want to hug and kiss and just love on your mama. Because it's just that good. Because you're going to taste the difference between store-bought vegetables and fresh garden vegetables. There's much difference as night and day. Now, you got to know about each plant that you plant, how you treat it, how you do it. Just like see, I'm doing something different this year. And last year my wife had cucumbers. She loves cucumbers. My neighbor loves cucumbers. My sister-in-law loves cucumbers. So I had plenty of cucumbers. And this year I'm going to have a bunch more. Because last year I let my plants run on the ground. This year I'm going to build a trellis, which is, see, cucumbers are running plants. So I'm going to train them, just like I got to train them how to run up my trellis. And the cucumbers will run and hang down. And I ain't got to hump for them on the ground, and they'll grow much better on the trellis. I'll be looking out there. I saw a picture where all these cucumbers were just hanging through and I got the wire already. That wire that I told you I had that didn't work for the rabbits and the groundhogs, I still got a bunch of that. Because I think I bought like 50, 75 feet of that. So I got all that left over, and I'm going to build a trellis out of them. So the cucumbers can run up across my garden and down, and all my cucumbers just going to hang. And I'll just go out there when they're ready, pluck one, pluck one. I mean, y'all, I learned so much because you know I'm a geek, ain't no doubt about it. And when I joined this organization, and I'm gonna tell y'all what it is right now. Write this down, y'all. You want to get pencil and paper today. You want to write this down. This is who I use to get a lot of my information. It's called DIY, stand for Do It Yourself. DIYeverywhere.com. Y'all, I just gave y'all one hell of a secret. DIYeverywhere.com. Now, I saw it on Facebook, so I clicked on it. I was on that site for half a day, and I ain't lying when I say I was on it for half a day, reading, studying, and learning what I didn't already know. Because a lot of it I knew because country boy, I grew up, I hadn't done it in years, but you'd be surprised what stays in your mind. But when I was a little boy, I'm talking about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And then watching my grandfather as I got older, and I learned more and more about gardening. My grandfather could tell you if it was going to rain in a day or two. He knew 2 or 3. He'd tell you when it was going to rain. Look, boy, you want to go out there and turn that dirt over a little bit around them string beans, around that cabbage, or around those tomato plants, or just go rain. Yes, sir. It's comical if you go on Facebook, facebook.com/W. Murray. You see me in the dirt. I mean, I am in the dirt, planting my plants. I was dirty, but I was in my world, y'all. I was in my dirt. Now, here's something that I'm going to give y'all a tip on, and this is something that you can remember as time goes on. And I'm going to give you more and more and more and more and more, because I can't give you everything today, y'all. It's just too much. I mean, 6 tips for growing a plentiful cucumber crop. Just everything. I mean, I've got 20 pages that I wrote and I copied and wrote and copied and pasted and put together. The right way to plant tomatoes is to get plants up to 8 feet high. I'm gonna cover that with you probably some of the next show. I might do some of this show. If your leaves yellow and wilt, no matter what you do, here's what you need to do. And a lot of this stuff works on house plants. House plants. And you heard me say baking soda. How cheap is baking soda? And Epsom salt. You ain't gonna spend all this money on this high price stuff. See, a lot of it you can take and just you can put it around it, just like how it comes, or you can put it in water and spray your plants. Because a lot of it keep bugs away. It also keep the bugs from eating up your plants, y'all. How simple. Who would have ever thought that Epsom salt or baking soda was something that's very, very good for your garden? Now, I don't want to overload my plants with too much power. I want to burn it out. But I'm not going to use baking soda and stuff a lot. Oh, I'm going to use some. And the Epsom salt, because I want to keep bugs off of it. But just put it right around the base. Sprinkle a little bit around the base. And it keeps the bugs away. And a lot of kids, if you got moth, or you got if I had moths last year like crazy, I guarantee you ain't gonna have none this year. Because see, moths lay eggs. I thought they were butterflies. My buddy who has a garden said, no man, those are moths. They lay their eggs and their eggs eat up your plants. So I had bug killer every time I saw a white one flying around, I go out there and spray. I ain't gotta do that this year. Because I know all I gotta do is how to treat the plant. So they won't land on and won't lay their eggs. Because I say baking soda around the base of tomato plants to make them sweeter. Did you hear what I just said? Baking soda around tomato plants makes your tomatoes sweeter. Epsom salt around the base of plants every 2 weeks enriches your soil. It also enhances the flavor of fruits and vegetables. Epsom salt, y'all. Who ever thought that? You thought they'd just soak your body in and soak your funky feet in. That is something that's fantastic for your garden. Ain't that something? Now, I looked out and I don't have no weeds in my garden. No weeds in my garden. Because in the country, we had to go out there and weed every day or two because it grew. It's weeds in the country. Dirt's rich. I didn't have to do that in my garden. And the groundhog didn't get up there because he couldn't get up because my fence was too high. He couldn't climb it. He tried to gnaw through it, but he ain't gonna gnaw through that wire and that chicken wire, y'all. He can try all he wants to. He might dig under it, which he did not, because I had my 38 weight and my shotgun too. So he didn't mess with it. He looked and said, "Okay, you up there, I ain't gonna mess with you this year." And he came out last year early, looking around, talking about where the garden at? You ain't planted yet. And he came out there already and looked at me through my sliding glass door window, looking at me like, "You haven't planted yet?" Well, brother, you ain't gonna get none of this summer either. And we don't know if I catch him, because I got a trap. My neighbor got a trap, the music trap. I'm gonna give that groundhog to my neighbor. My neighbor says the groundhog eats nothing but vegetation. He eats groundhogs. He says that is some good meat. I said, I don't eat meat, so I know I ain't eating no groundhog. But I probably would if it's like you eat squirrel, you eat rabbit, and so I'm gonna try to catch him and give him to my neighbor because he eats groundhog. They don't eat nothing but vegetation. That's all they eat. They don't eat no meat. Listen when I tell you, y'all, you got to know what you want to plant. What you want to plant. Thank you, Arlene. Very nice day. What you're putting on my page, and you're looking through one of my sites out of 7 sites that I have live, my social media sites. Now, let me see. I got y'all. I can't read all this. This is just too much for me to read to y'all today. Because I'm gonna tell you what each thing is and the best way to do what you're going to do. But what's going to surprise you? What's really going to surprise the hell out of me? How easy, how easy, how easy it was to grow my garden. But now you can do this in pots, but you got to make sure the pot is big enough to handle, big enough for your plants to grow and can root. You got to make sure you got good soil. Now, like in my potatoes, I'm going to grow, and I'm going to let y'all see it as it grows this summer, because I'm going to be taking pictures and showing y'all my garden, explaining to you what's going on. You get a 5-gallon bucket, and you drill holes around the bottom of your bucket. Put not gravel, but rocks. The rocks about the size of this. When you put your thumb and your forefinger together, that's how big you want your rocks, or maybe half that size in your bucket. And it ain't got to be just enough to cover the bottom, because you want the water to be able to drain out of your bucket so it won't keep your dirt wet and turn into mud. You want to be able to drain. So I put gravel in mine that was maybe an inch tall, or maybe a little more. You play it because they're going to be a nice size rocks you can put in there. Gravel. You don't want the little small gravel. You can use that, but I didn't. I was thinking, every now and then I have a tendency to use my mind on my own. And then you can put your dirt in it. Don't fill it all the way up to the top. Just put it up 3/4 of the way. Now, what I've done, I've got potatoes in my kitchen right now, regular where I kept them when I kept my potatoes, and they started growing eyes. All I'm going to do is cut them in half, put them in that dirt, put a little bit of dirt over top of it, get me some straw or hay, and put that on top of that, and let it go. Now, potatoes, it's going to take you about 3 or 4 months for your potatoes to really grow and do. But when I saw this dude, I watched the video. See, that stuff works. The stuff you can learn from that. And now, y'all, I must have, God, I don't know how many emails I get now or on Facebook, how many other organizations about plants that come up on the Facebook page. I watch it because I want to know all things. Like I say, I don't know everything, but I damn sure want to learn everything. You're getting ready to get into something that is a tremendous amount of enjoyment. And when you start eating, baby, when when you just bite a tomato that came out of your garden, your tomatoes, I'm serious, this is what freaked me out more than anything else. The tomatoes in your garden do not taste like your store-bought tomatoes. It's more tomatoey. It's a little natural sweetness that's there that you don't get from the store. You don't have all that artificial wax and stuff on it and that artificial sweetening and those chemicals they use to grow their tomatoes. You don't have that in yours. That's why I don't really go out and buy fertilizer. I let my dirt do what I told you. I could almost hear my garden grow. It grew so fast. Now, here's something that you got to realize too. Your garden, your plants do not grow during the day. All they do is absorb the energy and nutrition from the daylight and the sun. Every plant that you have, every tree you have only grows at night. It does not grow during the day. It only grows at night. Surprise! I know a lot of y'all didn't know that. Now, don't expect your plants to come and grow and take off and you got to give everything time to ripen. You got to know how to do your tomato plants. You got to know how to tie them up as they grow or get one of them tomato cages. But you got to train your plants to grow within that tomato cage. You can't just stick it and walk away. You got to train it. You see a leaf come and take and put it work and grow a tomato over the rack of your tomato cage and stuff. But see, I tied mine up to the fence. My fence, I got a fence behind me where I plant my tomatoes. And I just as they grow up, I tie them onto that fence. And they grow up and I tie them. And I had tomatoes all summer up until October. My tomato plants produced up until October. My kale grew and did until November, part of December. Because see, those can grow in cold weather. Your kale, your collards, your cabbage, your lettuce. So like that can grow in cold weather. It was something I just thought I want to tell you and it slipped my mind just that quick. It'll come back to me, y'all, because I got so much stuff to tell you. I mean, I ain't got into, you know what? I haven't even gotten into my material yet. What was it, 12 pages of nothing but information? Like I told you, go to DIYeverywhere.com. Take time, sit down, listen, and learn, or read and learn. I did. I'm going to give y'all the first paragraph that I copied on DIYeverywhere.com. It says, planting vegetables at the right time is crucial for a successful harvest. Knowing the best time to plant will ensure that your plants have optimal growing conditions, leading to healthy and productive growth. Requirements of each vegetable will help you make informed decisions on when to plant and how to care for your plants. By planting at the right time, you can also extend your growing season, allowing you to enjoy fresh homegrown produce for longer. In addition, planting at the right time can help prevent problems such as disease and insect infestations, which can greatly affect the health and yield of your plants. With the right information and a little planning, you can have a productive and successful vegetable garden. Y'all, I had one. I mean, if y'all saw my garden list, it'd freak you out. especially how big my cabbage got. Whoa! And my kale and my collards, how fast it reproduced itself. My cucumbers, how many cucumbers I had to give my wife and her to give away to whoever she knew may want it. Oh, now y'all about your cabbage, about your kale and your collards. It does not require a lot of sunlight. I had to plant it down on my north side of my garden, because the way the sun comes up, that's the last place in the daytime where the sun hits it. It needs sun, but it doesn't need as much sun as your tomatoes, your greens, your string beans, and your other vegetables. Now I didn't plant corn, but I'm going to find out how to plant a corn in buckets, because I'm going to have buckets. I got 5-gallon buckets y'all I can plant corn in, and potatoes, and I'm getting cinder blocks. So some little squares in the cinder blocks, where you got 2 squares in the cinder block, you can put that full of dirt and grow your onions, which is what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm freaking out, man, what I learned so far. Now, be careful. Make sure your greens don't get burned out in the sun. I was lucky. My son, my garden sits totally in the sun that goes from the left to the right. But at the front where I put my kale and my collards, don't get sun until around 11 o'clock, which is good because it produced. I mean, it produced. And my string beans I planted down the other end of my garden. My bush beans. I had pole beans last year and bush beans, but my pole beans didn't do nearly as good as my bunch beans. Y'all, I went out there and plucked one day bunch beans and a big bag of fresh string beans. Oh, this year all I'm planting is bunch beans. But here's the difference between bunch beans and pole beans. Bunch beans only produce beans once. Where if you pluck your pole beans, they'll grow other string beans. But as many beans I got off of my bunch beans, I have it like what, 3, maybe 4 little what you call them things? Can't think of the word, y'all. Anyway, I planted 4 of them, and I had all them bunch beans. I had all them string beans. So this year I'm probably gonna plant a whole row, maybe of 7 or 8 plants, because I told you I'm gonna can mine. And guess what? You can freeze your string beans. There's a way to do that, and I'm gonna explain that to you in the next show. And if you can your tomatoes, all you got to do is put them in a jar, put them in a nice dark cool shelf, a nice cool location. You got a basement, great. If you don't, put them where you keep your canned goods, or in the closet at the bottom under your coats. That's great. Can your food, baby, because I'm telling you, it's going to grow. Oh, y'all gonna be so glad that I gave y'all this and y'all listen to this. Wow, where is this hour going? Lines are open. Anybody want to talk to me? Lines are open. Does anybody want to talk to me? See, I get to run my mouth. I forget to ask that. Anybody out there got any questions? Anybody out there want to talk to me? I'm loving this, y'all. Plus, I'm testing myself. Don't wait on me to stop. If you come online, just say something, and I'll stop talking.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, Miss Lady.
I was just saying that I enjoyed the information because I really want to have a little herb garden.
Same thing.
And I can't, because I have plants and I have killed all of them.
You will not no longer.
Okay. If you can help me, grow some herbs, because that's all I have space for right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. To grow something, I would love, potatoes and cabbage, my greens and stuff like that. But we're gonna start with the herbs. So maybe I need to start with a plant first. I don't know. What do you think? Because I
All
can't
of
keep
what
them
you
alive
want.
to save my life.
Last year I grew rosemary in my garden.
Mm-hmm.
And my neighbor grew, she had pots and pots and pots of herbs. And she's the one that I saw. She had them little salad tomatoes. I said, "Oh yeah, she had hers in a pot." I'm like, "Would you look at this?" But see, I got the garden, baby. I got room in my garden for mine. She had hers in pots.
Well, I have a small patio space, so herbs, I think.
Yeah, it's easy. What I
Okay.
just told you about your dirt
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and you ain't got to go out and buy a whole lot of stuff. You just got to have a rich, nutritious dirt. And that's why I tell everybody
Okay.
it's called Miracle-Gro garden soil. Now, here's the thing about plants that you might have to get some dirt and mix with that garden soil because that garden soil is rich. It is rich, and you might want to mix some potting soil in with your plants. But when you plant your garden, you want that rich soil. Now, I didn't put down this year but 27 bags of dirt to cover my whole 7 by 24-foot garden because I've already 2 years stacked it up. Now, next year, I probably won't have to put any dirt. I can if I want to, I got plenty enough room to raise it higher. But I shouldn't have to, and the dirt still feels just like it did last year. But the new dirt on top is giving it the fresh richness. So as far as, like I say, go to DIYEverywhere.com, and it tells you, it breaks all this stuff down. You're going to be on there for hours if you enjoy reading and listening to what they teach you. There are others. And like I tell you, on Facebook right now, I got so many organizations. Just, like how if you go out and buy something, all of a sudden you look on Facebook, there's a commercial to you for it. Well, that's what happened to me with gardening. And I read all of it. If they got a video, I'm going to watch it. I mean, everybody that came by last year and saw my garden freaked them out at how much I had grown in that little bit of space, a 7 by 24. 7 feet by 24, and I grew some stuff. And this year is going to be even more because I understand more. Like my cucumbers, as much as they produced last year, they probably can produce 3-4 times as much this year. My bunch beans, I'm going to plant more because I want to be able to can my bunch beans. And you can freeze them. You can freeze them. You can do them. I think, and I'm going to look this up. I'm right when I say it, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't hold me to this. You can cook them a little, put them in a freezer bag, and freeze them. Or you can put them in there just like out of the garden, just wash them, put them in a bag, and freeze them. Now, your cabbage and stuff, I don't think you can freeze that. I don't know. That's some research I got to do, y'all. See, I got questions I got to answer for myself. I'm now just learning how to plant and grow my garden better than last year. If I can grow better than last year, Lord have mercy. I don't know what I'm going to do if it's better than last year because last year freaked me out. The only disappointments I had, my watermelon grew, but I couldn't get it to ripen right. For some reason, it didn't ripen or I didn't know what I was doing. But my cantaloupe was sweet. Whoa, my cantaloupe was nice. So this year I'm just gonna go to my man and buy his southern watermelon and eat those. I eat 1-2 watermelons a week. The regular when you go buy a watermelon, $12-15. I eat a couple of those a week. I love watermelon, y'all. And right now I'm getting ready to go on a fruit and vegetable fast. Only all I'm going to eat is fruits and vegetables. I got inside right now. I've got cauliflower. I got broccoli. I got carrots, grapes, and I've got them in a bowl in my refrigerator because I got them cut them up, and that's all I'm eating. But now I don't eat fruit and my fruit and my vegetables because I got cantaloupe and I bought a honeydew. Now that's with my grapes and stuff. I eat my fruits because I'm not gonna mix. I'm gonna tell you, I don't want you're not supposed to mix your fruit. You either eat fruit or you eat the vegetables, which is your cauliflower, your broccoli, your carrots, your celery sticks. I'll eat that, but I won't mix them. And I don't know where I heard or where I got it from that you're not supposed to mix them. You can. I don't see why not, but I don't know where I got that from. So I got some research to do. See how I got work to do, y'all? See how I got work to do? And I got research to do, y'all. I'm gonna go over this page with y'all probably the next show. The 6 tips to growing cucumber crop, the trellis strength, the right way to plant tomatoes and get plants up there. But all of this, it tells you how to plant them deeply, plant sideways if you can't go deep, avoid overcrowding seedlings, how far apart to plant stuff. All of that is right there under DIYeverywhere.com. I mean, I got all this information. I got a book here, y'all. How to keep leaves green, annihilate pesky weeds, beautiful blooming roses. Ain't nobody in my neighborhood got a prettier rose bush than my 2 rose bushes in front of my house. And those 2 rose bushes cover half of my house. Baking soda, fungus fighter, pest repellent, sweetened tomatoes, weed killer, soil amendment. All of that is right there at DIYeverywhere.com. Compost enhancer, cleaning tools, deodorizer, seed germination. See, all that's there. All you got to do is take time to read it. Didn't I tell you that you got to do your research? Just think, once you do this one time, you know. But you still want to every year refresh yourself. I've got pages, y'all. And I got so many sites that sending me stuff on gardening. And then I got emails, people sending me stuff on gardening. And then I've got videos on gardening. Master the art of spacing. Plant at the right time. Prepare the soil properly. Implement succession planning. Manage pests and diseases. Harvest regularly. When to plant vegetables and why. Tomatoes, onions, peppers, carrots, broccoli. I'm going cucumbers, lettuce, beans. Now that's something I'm gonna plant that I didn't plant last year. I might have to put it in a bucket in my radishes. Beets, for some reason I'm not a beets person, and I don't get it. Oh, y'all, something else that's great for your garden: peroxide. Provided hydrogen peroxide is a gardener cure-all. As the world learns more towards organic and sustainable gardening practices, gardeners are on a constant lookout for natural remedies and solutions for their garden woes. One such miracle solution that has been gaining popularity over the years is hydrogen peroxide. This simple compound, familiar to as many as a first aid antiseptic, is also a versatile and environmentally friendly tool for garden management. I mean, there's other stuff: disease control, boosting plant growth, sanitizing garden tools and pots. Sanitizing garden tools and pots, water treatment. I mean, it's y'all. It's there for you. You just got to do your research. Spend the day. Say, okay, for the day I don't read or do nothing but garden. Because I'm always on site reading and learning about what tools I need or whatever I try to do. I just gave you some vital information. Lord, where does hour go, y'all? Guess what time it is? It's that time of the evening. I told you it's the fastest hour. Tuesdays and Fridays is the fastest hour of the week from 9 to 10. And I hope I helped you. I mean, I wish y'all, okay, now, if y'all want to get in touch with me, to ask me questions, to find out what's what, call me at 240-619-2019. 240-619-2019. Now, Y'all know I need y'all. Yes.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Can you use coffee grounds in your garden?
You know what? They mentioned that. You can, but I need to really look it up. It's in this. I got it right here in my pockets. I just got to find out where it is in here. I got it. Like I told you, DIYEverywhere.com. And that's just one. And if you go on Facebook and pull it up, you're going to get other people, organizations sending you stuff that you can look up. Because you know it's like you go to the grocery store. If you buy some, go shopping, you're going to get some information and get emails and this is on sale and that's on sale. Well, that's what this is. Because I'm getting all this garden information from all these different organizations about gardening. And the thing about it, when you get on their site, you can ask them that very question and they'll pull up the answer. I enjoy the DIY. I mean, I was impressed with it. I really, really was. I told you I spent hours on it because I was reading and listening to watching the videos. I'll find out about those coffee grounds and my next show. I'm probably gonna do part 2 of the garden, and y'all got to pass this information on. Now, who is it I haven't helped out there and that want to grow a garden? I told you how easy it is. It is so simple. It might cost you a little bit of money, but look here, I ain't got to go to the grocery store at all this summer to buy no vegetables. None. I'm growing what I like to eat. I told you, if you eat a tomato out of my garden, you'll notice the difference as soon as you bite into it between a store-bought tomato and a tomato that grew in my garden. Much difference is night and day. That's it for this show, y'all. But I'm asking you, because I need financial support, y'all. Please support the show. Go to Cash App, and my Cash is $W Murray. $W Murray. Or you can go to PayPal.me/MM Institute. PayPal.me/MM Institute. Or if you're going to send me a check or a money order, you can send it to P.O. Box. Oh, wow, forgot my P.O. Box just that quick, y'all. See, I got that gardening on my mind, got excited. P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. And call me here for the information. Call me at the Institute, because you know I'm the president of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. You can call me at 240-619-2019. Give it $25 or more, please. I'll take $2 if you got it. One lady gave me $10. That's all she had. That $10 was just as valuable, did just as much for me. I mean, although the more you give, the better for me. But I needed to support to keep this show on the air. Cash App, $W Murray, MURRY, MURRY. PayPal.me/MM Institute. Or P.O. Box 47438, District Heights, Maryland 20753. And as I always say in closing, if you push me, I'll pull you. If you pull me, I'll push you. It's not going to matter whether I'm pushing or pulling. Y'all, we will get there together. I'm going to make you a success. And as I always tell you, since the beginning of time, billions of years, truth and fact are undefeated. And the truth with me for you is I love you. That's the truth. And the fact is, ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, y'all, keep working on your road to success. Until next time, God bless. Tell Lottie Dottie and everybody. Now, if you want to see this show that we just did, go to Facebook, go to LinkedIn, go to Twitter, go to YouTube. And the name of the show was Building a Backyard Garden. I'm just saying garden, period, but I said backyard garden because most people put them. You can do it on your balcony. You can do it, some of it you can do in your kitchen or doing your windowsills. Until next time, y'all, God bless. Miss Lee says, great information. You are a jack of all trades. I got to give you what you need. What do? I build millionaire mindsets, lifestyles, and businesses. I help build your wealth. I help build your information. I help build you. Until next time, y'all. And Mrs. Span said, thanks for sharing. Until next time, everyone. God bless.